Hello and welcome to the GRADD Dialogue. This month I'm so proud to have my chairman, Judge Jody Jenkins from Union County to be my guest speaker. And the reason we have Judge Jenkins on the show today is that he will be completing his 2-year term with the GRADD as a chairman of the board, even though he would continue as a leader of the GRADD region, being a judge up to Union County. So, in case you may not have known Judge, he's been with us since 2007 as the Judge Executive, and prior to that, he was a journeyman and a tool die maker. And actually prior to that, we have a family history, Judge. With your family and GRADD. I think your dad used to be also officer of the GRADD board, before unfortunately he passed away. So I'm glad that tradition goes on. However, this young man, the judge, is very, very active, not only on GRADD, but also statewide. He's been serving on the Kentucky Coal Coalition Board of Directors, which is one of the biggest resources that we have in Western Kentucky, as far as the economic development is concerned. He's also on the board of the Kentucky All-Line Fund, which is an insurance program for the counties, and also the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, which is a governor's appointee, on trying to make sure that all 120 counties in Kentucky have an adequate water and sewer systems, and also they manage a pretty large sum of loans and grants program. Just recently, he was also been serving as the chairman of the Kentucky Council of Area Development District, which is an association of all 15 ad district boards. I'm very proud that he's serving on that. And I guess I would say that for his heart and for his family, he's also currently a chairman of the St. Anne's School Board. Sometimes those hometown appointments and the work brings a lot more satisfaction. Judge, again, welcome on the GRADD Dialogue, and as your executive director, I'm so proud that we had a great leadership under your chairmanship the GRADD board. So we kind of talk about. What do you think has been happening the last 2 years, and also maybe what we look forward to as as a counties and also region as a whole.
Well, certainly I've enjoyed the 2 years, and I think for me, the most enjoyable part of that has been completely learning from the staff, particularly all the different components of GRADD and how many different areas that they're working in, and the amount of professionals that GRADD employs and puts out into our region, and that all 7 counties benefit so much more than what I had realized prior to becoming the chairman, and getting to know some of those folks and understanding a little more in detail what they do and who works for who, and so I think for me, just completely learning what type of stewardship GRADD has over our region has been really enjoyable for me.
Judge, I think the one thing that I'm really proud of your ability, is to bring the different counties together. Under the last 2 years, during the time. We have gone through all kinds of economic challenges, nationally, statewide, and a budget in crisis, and trying to get some more money and everything else. And when the money gets tough, everybody becomes worrying about their own backyard rather than playing as a regionally. But you have kept that dialogue going among the 7 county and your fellow judges and board members. That has to be a great accomplishment.
Well, interestingly enough, I think that's during situations like that is when we really need to understand how big of a benefit that GRADD is to our region when we have those type of things, and that when we don't have certain resources that we may have had in the past, or communities have had to do without having a person in this position or that, and that we that is at its core what GRADD as original intent was, and so I think that naturally brings everybody together, and for me, I think made it quite easy, to just go back and look at what the core values of GRADD are, and realizing that during something like that is when when GRADD can help us the most. So I think it was a good fit.
Yeah, and then also, it seems like looking at the records that during your tenure we have won quite a few awards. In fact, you had really pushed us to have a Stop Senior Hunger event. Trying to feed the senior citizens who sometimes do not get adequate food and everything else. And I believe NATO was recognized GRADD for that. And the one thing that really, personally, I'm so excited about that you really asked us to do is that once you came back from our sister regional event in Czech Republic, and then you saw the feat, and then then I think you were eager to receive some of the delegates out of Czech Republic, and I think last year I think we had the Art of Regionalism, where your county was the first one to jump on that to provide that exchange of culture, resources too. So I mean, all those things are something. Sometimes you forget because it's been done. But again, without your leadership, we would not been able to continue on those things. Now coming back at home, how as a judge executive, how the being on the GRADD board or GRADD chairman and all being on the other statewide groups have been beneficial to Union County?
I think that obviously I have put myself out there enough to where maybe sometimes got a little bit too thin, but I think that networking, getting ideas or solutions, maybe even about programs or something that have been done in other regions, whether that be through the Council of Ads or from the sister region, and understanding how important regionalism at the end of the day really is, and not to alienate those around us or to isolate ourselves on particular issues, and I think for me it's helped Union County be able to create somewhat of an outreach to know where and who and when to go to some other area or with problems that we may be having.
Now in your perspective, Judge, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges that we face as a region in the upcoming years?
I think sustaining our middle class is going to be a challenge for all of us, whether it be from a lot of good manufacturing or energy-related jobs that we may recently had slip away or had some announcements recently on some shutdowns or idle, and just maintaining that and then at the same time with that going on, back to what you had mentioned earlier about our senior hunger campaign, is that we just absolutely have to remember that our senior population is going to grow, and it's going to grow very rapidly, and will the demand. And so to continue that outreach with our senior programs and to dig in and be invested with that group, I think those two things are really going to.
And Judge, people watching the show, they sometimes have a myth about, GRADD, goes out and gets some grants and everything else. Sometimes people don't realize, what it takes behind the scene, the partnerships and the connections and everything else. And that's where, you as judge executive and serving on all different kinds of boards statewide and being on the governor's appointee in many boards, kind of brings that, edge, to compete. Because everybody has a need, for the money, and then money is always in short supply. So, sometimes we don't give enough credit to the board of directors and chairman like you to make those things happen. Because, there's a myth about GRADD is all the money, but if we had money, we had to use you and your talents and your connections to get it.
I think we hope that, and I think it's our job as elected officials and board members to use what networking abilities we have. I mean, it's a big boxing ring. They're all our friends across the Commonwealth, but I think the competitiveness, of the board or the community, but sharing those, sharing the ability to know maybe where to go or who's what's coming up or what's on the horizon, and sharing that within GRADD, because we want GRADD to be able to administer as much of that as possible, and because that's what makes GRADD successful. So sharing those networks and doing that, I think, is certainly something the board is very good at as far as working together.
Well, I mean, we can do all kinds of professional planning and using technology to be competitive, but it always takes that last edge, where
Right.
you guys come in and make a call, so and so, and here, make that justification.
And I'm certain that every board member wants it all to come back here in the GRADD region. So
absolutely, yeah. Now, recently, it was last year, I believe, that one of the projects that you were taking a lead working with your fellow counties was the Tri-County Recycling Center in Henderson. That's kind of unprecedented, having 3-4 counties work together and recycling. So would you comment on that?
Well, quite some time ago, Union, Henderson, and Webster agreed and started recycling programs within each county, but and mainly, during that time, it was more grant driven or motivated to try to get some equipment to be able to do some things to reduce what's in our landfills, and and I think over that period of time, while we were our children have become such great resources, as far as teaching their parents or the grandparents about recycling, and not only now I think is it the right thing to do, but our children and our schools demand it, and so Henderson and Union and Webster were fortunate enough to be able to put together a project that certainly Judge McCormick from Henderson County spearheaded that, and I have to acknowledge that he really pushed us to go that extra distance with that. But it's been a huge success. It's growing every day, and we didn't know that was going to go on, but right after we opened our facility in Henderson, the Earl C. Clemens Job Corps Academy was set down by the federal Job Corps program that they would be required to reduce their waste by 53%, and in a very short time frame. So we've been able to take on that load and had an outlet for it to go where certainly they would not have had that before. So we're working with those students as well as our folks and the folks in Henderson with doing that. So it's been a big success.
I think it's a great project. We want you, we would like to wish you all the success. You brought in quite a few, grants for that project as well. Now, in the last seconds or so, we have what is your advice to the incoming chair, the city manager of Owensboro, Mr. Bill Parrish?
Well, I would be reluctant to give Mr. Parrish any advice because he certainly. I look forward to serving as a board member under Bill Parrish. He's certainly an extraordinarily smart and experienced gentleman, and I think I would probably turn back around and ask Bill Parrish for some advice just on how I could be more successful or better serve my community, because he does such a fantastic job.
Well, Judge, thank you. And again, on behalf of the the staff at GRADD and also the board members, we really want to thank you for serving 2 years as chairman of the GRADD board. And I came to know you, and I became a great friend and everything else. And I'm really proud of what you accomplished. Again, I want to thank you, and we again proud to have the relationship with you as a judge and also as chairmanship.
Thank you.
We've been talking to our outgoing chairman, Jody Jenkins, about his experience on the GRADD board for the last couple of years. If any questions about his term with GRADD and also any about the projects, you can always contact me at the GRADD office. It's 926-4433. Hello and welcome to GRADD Dialogue. My name is Jiten Shah, the director of the GRADD office. The buzzword these days has been the new event center. I think it's been talked about as a Owensboro Convention Center, Owensboro Event Center. I don't know what the name's going to be, but my guest today is Mr. Dean Dennis. He is not only totally involved in the development and the construction time and everything else, but also during the operation. So with that, I'd like to maybe give you a brief bio about Dean. And again, he's from Pueblo, Colorado, where he has served as a general manager of Pueblo Convention Center and the vice president of business development of for the Global Spectrum, which is the company that been managing or will be managing, at the convention center here. He has worked as a vice president of the Convention and Visitors Council of Greater Pueblo Chamber of Commerce from 1992 to 1997, and also has been involved in opening, the convention center down there, and on behalf of the Globe facility, which is, I guess, a parent company of the Spectrum. And it goes on and on. He's been involved almost all over the country, helping the company to open new facilities and all those things. But we are so welcome and proud and honored to have Dean and his wife moved to Owensboro.
Right.
And I believe you mentioned that your wife is from Kentucky.
She is.
Frankfurt,
Yeah, from
so
Frankfurt.
This is a great connection as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, welcome to the
Thank you
GRADD
very
Dialogue.
much. Thank you.
And I guess one of the reason, not only that we, you see all the pictures around
Yeah.
here, that we are so impressed with the facility that we're gonna have that open very shortly. But one of the reason is that we are going to have our annual banquet or a gala of GRADD is going to be at your new facility as one of the first banquet. So we are very proud and wanted to talk about your center.
Absolutely.
So again, tell us. Tell us about the convention. What are we going to call it? Event center.
It's a convention center.
Convention center. Okay.
There are some in the venue industry. An event center more is a fixed seated type
Right.
of venue, like the sports center is more of an event center. This is more of a convention, flat space. It has no fixed seating. So really the word convention center really fits what type of building it is. And but it has gone through many variations in getting there. But yes, we're very proud and excited that GRADD will have their 45th annual meeting in our new facility come February 3rd. And it's just, we're really excited to have you as really the first contracted banquet in the facility.
But I remember that 30 years of executive inn, so it seems like every year we used to be going down those locations.
Yeah.
But in the last year or so of transition, the whole downtown, and your building coming up and everything else, and sometimes even forget that it used to be an executive inn.
Right.
And I think that is so exciting about this whole thing.
It is. Mr. Shah, I tell you, one of the things that I noted when I came here is that people have been coming to Owensboro for a long time. We've just been out of that mix for a little period of time here, 8 years or so, that we've been out of the mix, but we're really back into it now. And one of the nice things about the new venue and the new downtown, it has the 2 other hotels. It has additional development that's been spawned by this public investment that encourages people to get out and enjoy downtown. The old Executive Inn, you remember, you would go and you were kind of designed to everything was right there, your restaurants and everything. And so this really is designed to push people into the community to really create a larger economic impact for the greater area.
Tell us about what are you guys planning about the grand opening, and what is in plans for the folks to know what's happening.
Sure. We just kicked that off, and we've earmarked January 31st as a gala event, and really it's our opportunity. It's a sales and marketing opportunity, if you will, to really showcase the venue to the region, to the nation, and so we're inviting potential clients, potential folks who could use the facility from around to really show off on that Friday night. And that Friday night will include Sarah Evans, who's a country music award singer, and Aaron Kaiser will be doing some art that evening. We have bluegrass, we have jazz, we have the Owensboro Symphony 2nd Street Big Band playing, we have Jimmy Church Band playing upstairs. So lots of entertainment, and it'll be a really fun event. And the other thing we did with that, in working with the city, is we provided some tickets to that event through local city-sponsored nonprofits. And they'll be able to auction those off. They'll be able to put them on their social marketing efforts and be able to allow people who may not have been able to come to that event previously be able to come to that event. So we're very excited about that Friday night, January 31st. And then on the 1st, Saturday, is a real community opening, grand opening ribbon cutting on 10 o'clock that Saturday morning. We'll also include the new Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel with that ribbon cutting. We'll be opening both at the same time.
People will come in, we'll have free refreshments, lots of entertainment, and that evening we'll have a concert with a group called the Willis Clan out of Nashville. Willis Clan. They are a family of, I think, 12 kids who are all musically talented. They put on a wonderful show. They're on a reality show called Great American Country. On Great American Country, they have their own reality show. They were recently on the Today Show. Great group of kids, and they're going to be really fun on that Saturday night. And then Sunday, we have an interfaith lunch at 12:30. And then we'll have a blessing of the building from different pastors and ministers and from throughout the community. And then, of course, that afternoon is the big game, the big Super Bowl. So we'll have.
So after we are blessed, we can go.
We're blessed, we can go watch a little football. So, and then we move right into your event on Monday, Rooster Booster on the following Thursday, and we just we're going full bore.
Yeah. If when you're talking to this, then I've been in this town for Kentucky for some 30 plus years or so. Kind of reminds me of the buzz we had when they opened the Kentucky Art Center in Louisville.
Right.
The downtown, how the whole thing is going to be. This is. That's what I can see. People walking in on the riverfront, and all the citizens and the guests, and then walking to the convention center, and things are happening down there. It just totally changed up the whole scene up on the river and everything else. So that's really excellent.
Yeah.
Now, among the you mentioned some of the events, including GRADD, but you also looking out and seeking out other state and national groups to come down and have conferences and conventions and everything.
We are. Our bread and butter for this facility, what we're really chasing, because I think it has the greater impact, not only for Owensboro, but the entire GRADD region, are those multi-day conventions. And most of those, most associations all have an annual meeting of some sort. And so our really focus is on those state associations at this point, and regional associations. There are some in Indiana and Tennessee and Illinois that we look at as well. But those associations that have regular meetings, and those are part of who we're inviting on that Friday night. We want to make sure that we really work that side of it, because it's really important. And they have a lot of them have part of the rotation schedule to come to Western Kentucky, and so this gives them a new venue in which to do that.
I know that I'm kind of biased to our region and everything else. These days and time, almost every mid-sized or large community in Kentucky, or all maybe other states as well, have some sort of convention center. Bowling Green and other places.
Right.
But this is so unique.
It is.
And how is so different compared to just typical meeting places?
Yeah, well, part of it is it's got a little larger exhibit hall than what they have in Bowling Green, or even Evansville for that matter, and so it gives us kind of a uniqueness there. It's a very unique style of building, having the meeting space and the size that it is. Yeah, but it really is. It's going to be. It's a very impressive venue. If you've not seen it, you can see it on our website. We have a webcam as it's going up, and it's a very unique venue, and it really offers. I think when the lights actually come on and you see it at nighttime, it's going to be pretty impressive.
And by the way, we like the sign too.
You're right.
The new sign that that's in the beginning. I said, "What is this?" Then I think it kind of grows on you.
Yeah,
it's a nice design there too. As a vice chair and the board member of the Owensboro Symphony, we are looking forward to having, I believe, one of the concert, at the facility. It's going to be the Motown. Motown.
You're right.
So it's going to be perfect fitting to have that facility.
Exactly right. In fact, I have a meeting with Karen and the conductor right after this meeting, right after this interview. So we're very excited about that opportunity to host that Motown event, but also and other Pops events that the Symphony might have. But we also are working with them on a Juleps and Jockeys party at the Convention Center as well. So we're excited about that. And I tell you, one of the things about venues like this is that it's built for making the pie bigger. It's designed to bring new people to town to use the facility, but it really is an important quality of life venue for the people that live here and for the nonprofits that do events. And so it's certainly a part of our mix to do that. But certainly our prize, what we stay focused on is making the pie bigger, bringing new business to town, and that's really what we try to do. But there's really an opportunity to improve the quality of life here for the people by having this kind of a venue.
And I think, this one has a tremendous impact as a regional event. People come in here and go to, you mentioned earlier, go to other counties and
Sure.
have a business. And at the same time, every community have groups associated with some sort of national, statewide group. They
That's
can always
right.
think about come back. Reminds me that about a couple of months ago we were considering, to have a personal event at the center.
Right.
And then I was excited to see so many local folks who wanted to, check out to see if they could have their own personal event, the wedding, reception, whatever that could be. So
That's a really important piece.
Yeah.
We have a program called Bring Your Meeting Home. And it's people like you that are members of other organizations that say, gee, you know what, why don't we have this meeting? I shouldn't have to drive over to Nashville to do this meeting. Why can't we do this meeting here?
Yeah.
And so it's really about trying to bring those meetings back here. And we've received hundreds of leads, literally, from local folks who have been trying to help us. And I say this often. I've opened a lot of buildings, and I say often that I've never been in a community that's more excited and more willing to roll up their shirt sleeves and help us to make it successful than right here. They're very excited about it.
Well, looking at the the building, the construction, also looking at the website, you can see why people are so excited about
Right.
those things. Now,
Right.
tell us about maybe one of the biggest surprise about this project when you got into this.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Honestly,
community
it's
spirit.
just the community spirit and just the excitement behind it, the openness of the community, and again, that was a real surprise that so many people came and said, how can we, I belong to this organization, we'd like to invite them here, how can we do that? That's really something you don't see in a lot of communities. And we really experienced that here, and that was somewhat of a surprise to us, and certainly a pleasant surprise.
So how many staff you would expect, for this facility?
We'll end up with around 14 or 15 full-time staff, and then another, large number of part-time and temporary employees. Because the business is very ebb and flow,
Right.
there are busy days and not busy days, but we'll offer a lot of part-time, jobs for college kids that are OCTCS students and Brescia students get up to Westland. So a lot of part-time students
Excellent.
as well, but we only about 14 or 15 full-time.
Dean, I want to thank you for not only being on the show, but also thank you for talking about the convention center. There's so much excitement about it, and as people come in to visit the families for holidays, I can guarantee they're going to be eye-opening when they walk through that downtown. What's going to bring in, and that in itself going to bring in the future business.
It is.
We are fortunate to have you in Owensboro
Thank you.
and manage a new convention center. So I want to wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to be there on the 3rd of February.
Well, I will thank you. Let me end by saying I thank you so much for the GRADD partnership. The Green River Area Development District has just been wonderful in working with us, and this opportunity such as this dialogue right here has been terrific, and we thank you for that.
Thank you again. Good luck to you.
Thank
Again,
you.
we're talking to Dean Dennis about the convention center, and as if all of you know, that is going to be opening on January 31st, and a lot of events being planned. I'm sure you're going to be finding those information in the newspaper as well. If any questions about it, anything, you can always contact Dean Dennis at, I guess, your office in City Hall right now.
It is in City Hall.
And if not, you can always contact me at the GRADD office at 926-4433. You can also go on the convention center website.
OwensboroCenter.com.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you, Dean.
Thank you.